while our timers are going to go through all your ballots, separate all the evaluation sheets, it's my time to just reflect on how the meeting went. At Saturday Morning Live, the role of the general evaluator is to make sure that the evaluation teams are formed for the meeting. The roles are fulfilled, like the grammarian, timer, as well as the videographer. And you get an opportunity to make a 5 to 7 minute speech on the spot. So my role today is to look at every evaluator that came before you and see if I can pick up some nuggets. So I'm going to start with Linda. I really admire when we have a speech, we are giving out a meaning. What is really the essence of a speech? So I found that you are encouraging our speaker to think in terms of metaphorical case. And you did make that point when she had the dance and then she went into the speech. So I really loved that aspect of your evaluation. You also quoted that there was less positive and you were looking for more positive examples. The speech was organized, I do agree. But overall, my takeaway is that the metaphorical aspect of the speech has. I love when you use colorful words, and one of them was delightful. That was a nice way of promoting the self-esteem of the speaker. You pointed out that the speech was very professional, and you focused on the visual aspects. And I could see that you were totally capturing every aspect of the speaker. And I really agree, and I did not realize it at that time. You said that when you start your speech with the dance, all of a sudden we feel as an audience we are more relaxed to listen to your speech. And that's a wonderful way to start your speech. So consider dancing for your next speech. More information about companion, and I would have loved to see that too. That was one of your recommendations. And the other recommendation was a takeaway. What's in it for the audience? So yes, I think we all want to take away something from the speech. And speaking to inform is sometimes a little confusing matter. One speech says, or project says, just inform them. The other one says, never draw the conclusion. Let the audience draw the conclusion. So you told a very fine line between those points, and when you said, help us draw the conclusion. So I really like those specific points about your speech or your evaluation. Amit, as always, you continue to impress us. I didn't know where you were going when you talked about Babe Ruth, Tom Brady, Keith Hardy, and then of course you made Chi into the same line. So with one shot, you elevated the speaker to the professional level possible. I applaud you for that. Your focus was question and answer, and you started that by making Chi the queen of question and answer session. So now we all can focus on one good example, and I do agree. The question and answer session that was handled today was done really well. It was really funny that you pointed out the entire speech would be question and answer. I think you're a good politician. The choice of phrases that you use really inspires me. For instance, gave us a flavor, or completely out of body experience. These are things we don't necessarily hear from evaluators. When you bring these tips or phrases, it makes your evaluation speech very, very rich. And I would applaud you for doing that, and I encourage you to do this, continue to do this. One suggestion I would have is, because we are so caught up in doing our evaluation, we hold our pen. So when you are speaking, the pen continues to show up in your hand. I have done this many times, and Keith pointed that out to you. So it's my turn to share that with you. Once you are done with your evaluation, it's like the examination papers, put down your pen. And that way your hands are now all of a sudden very free to use. Second thing, Keith, you always inspire us, and you always set a wonderful example for us to follow. The first thing I noticed was you had your team set up exactly as it is in the agenda. For instance, it says Keith Hardy, Karen Buellin, Steve Cook, and that is exactly how they were seated. It was very easy for the audience to follow. I noticed that you distinguished between introducing your team and your first evaluation. You stood up, introduced, and then you sat down, continued by giving your evaluation. Big Bad John. Very eye-catching phrase. And showing your emotions took control of the stage. I do agree. I thought, I've seen many speeches, well, I haven't seen many speeches, but this speech particular was really impressive. And I thought, how will the team evaluate that? So you really started the whole evaluation on a very strong foot. We all talk about energy that we have, those butterflies in the stomach. So as an evaluator, you really address that well by talking about the nervous energy. And instead of really throwing the props, you did mention that the props are brought in an appropriate time. I agree, use a full stage. Speakers, this is your time. Stage time, stage time. Use the entire stage. And all of you did say the water example. John, you have really given us an excellent tip. And Keith, you pointed that out first. Carol, for some reason, I was just lost when you were speaking, so I didn't write a lot of things, but I did notice that you did catch the gray hair and the 50s dating. That was the beginning of his speech. I like the suggestion. End your speech by bringing back what you said in the beginning. So that's a nice way of wrapping things up. And the other suggestion was specific to dating. You encouraged John by saying that this was a very strong speech and you have impressed a lot. Steve, you are a very humble person. Keep forgetting. Oh, Steve, thank you. You are very honest. You said that you're looking for some tedious and complex part of your speech and you did not find one. It becomes very tough with a speech like this when you're trying to find the very specific things. It is difficult. So I like your honesty. But you did capture other things, for instance, the sausage fingers. And you did say you reached out for the water first time, that was good. Second time, okay, John, where are you going? So very good observation on that front. And an appropriate speech for the Valentine's Day. I'd like to also applaud Keith for giving our guests an opportunity to comment before the members get that. And that's a nice way of showing a wonderful gesture towards our guests. Nancy, thank you for not taking us through said ahs, ums, and a nice way of saying this is Valentine's Day, so I'm going to just shower love instead of really thinking of that. So all in all, I'm very impressed with the evaluations that we had today. You showed an excellent example of how evaluations could be taken up and up. I hope our guests, you had some takeaway today. Mr. Toastmaster.